Hello everyone, and welcome to the Optimizing Your Website and SEO webinar hosted by CloudAccess.net. Now, this is a hands-on interactive webinar designed for small businesses or freelancers who already have websites. In fact, several of today's attendees have already contacted Hope, your presenter, about having their websites be the subject of her demonstration today. And Hope has done some work gathering information for those attendees, and we'll talk to both Hope and those attendees shortly. Very briefly, though, I want to give you an introduction to our company and myself. My name is Ryan Bernstein. I'm going to be your host and moderator today, and I work for CloudAccess.net. We are the official host of the demo trial of Joomla at demo.joomla.org. And you can launch free trials of Joomla through our platform. Each of those trials is active for 30 days, and you can upgrade to a paid hosting package at any point. Now, we're a unique hosting company because we work exclusively with the Joomla content management system, and you can submit online tickets or call us directly to get help with core Joomla features. I want to encourage all of our attendees to find your GoToMeeting slide-out question area to post questions to me and Hope during today's webinar. Now, we had over 250 people register for today's webinar, so we may not be able to get to all of your questions. You can also tweet at me during the presentation at CloudAccess, but if we don't get to your question, I will show you a place to follow up with Hope at the end of the presentation. Now, just a little bit about Hope Kaya. Hope has been empowering freelance and creatives and small business owners since 1998, and she owns one of the top 25 web design firms, which is Santa Fe Web Design in New Mexico. And she, like many web designers, her focus was initially on the look and feel of her designs without much thought about search engines. But since 2004, she's been optimizing all of her sites, bringing many to page 1 of Google's search engine result pages within a month of their launch. Now, Hope has also published a book, the Keyword Tutorial ebook, which won the New Mexico Book Award in the business category in 2008. And Hope has done a few webinars with us now, and Hope, it's nice to have you back.
Thank you, Bernie. It's fun to be here again. I so appreciate Cloud Access hosting this. I'm looking forward to it.
Very good. Now, just one other quick reminder for our attendees today. We are recording this, and a copy of this webinar will be available on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/cloudaccess. I'll show you that a little bit later, and again, where to follow up with Hope. But for now, I'm going to pass that presentation over to you if you're ready, Hope.
I'm ready. So, again, thank you to Bernie and Cloud Access for hosting this webinar. I really enjoyed the last one. We had a blast. We actually started doing some of what I'm doing today with you all, and it worked out really well. So welcome, and thank you to all of you who are coming and to all of you who posted to my Facebook page in advance asking me to help you. This is a webinar on planning your site to attract your ideal customer, optimizing your site. And I am Hope Kaya. I've been designing websites professionally in Santa Fe since 1998. My website is santafe-webdesign.com. So the first thing I like to recommend to my clients is they identify their ideal customer. And many of us would like to believe that our ideal customer is the entire world. But unfortunately, that is not the ideal way to go. The entire world is not your ideal customer, and maybe everyone here who's listening to me already knows that. But if you have illusions about that, let me dispel them and help you think about how to define your niche so that you can have a website and an online presence that attracts your ideal customer and doesn't waste time trying to attract too many people who are not right for you. Because when you do that, first of all, it doesn't work. You won't get all of them anyway, and secondly, you couldn't handle it. So the best thing is to identify your ideal customer and and work to attract them to your website. I like John Jantz very much. Duct Tape Marketing is one of his earlier books. He's got lots of books out. They're all great. He's real down to earth, very helpful. He thinks out of the box. And here are some of his suggestions for what to think about in relation to your ideal customer. You know, their physical characteristics, emotional, how do they make buying decisions, ways to reach them. And this may be a little confusing and overwhelming. One of the ways that I like to approach it is to look at your existing ideal customers. If you have an ideal customer already, maybe you could answer these questions about them. And then use that as sort of a format for who you're trying to attract. I love to put out there, in my mind at least, and energetically, the kind of customer I'm interested in. And I think if you define it and you feel it, you're more likely to attract it. I live in Santa Fe, so I get to be woo-woo about this. And I do believe if you put out there in your mind what it is you're looking for, you're more likely to attract it and avoid what you're not looking for. I'm looking for freelancers, creatives, artists who are motivated and interested in getting their hands dirty on the internet. And that's just some of the characteristics of my ideal customer. So I recommend that you think about your own and you fish with a small net. Don't try to attract too many people. The more you can clarify your what your ideal customer is searching for, then the more likely it is you're going to attract them. Okay? The less work you do in this area, the less likely it is that you're going to attract your ideal customer. So imagine what your ideal customer searches for, right? And write these things down. My book that's available on my website that I'll show you, you can download for free. There are forms you can fill out that will help you with this part of the process. What do they search for in Google, Facebook, Twitter, Yelp, YouTube, etc.? You know, just think about what your ideal customer is searching for. You may have Google Analytics already installed in your website, and you may be able to check how people are finding you, what phrases they're using. That's very helpful too. So I don't know how many people are here from other countries, or how many of you know of the old movie Field of Dreams, but this movie has a story where the protagonist has a vision that if he builds a baseball court, there will be a team that will appear in the middle of nowhere. And in truth, it does happen. But it won't happen on your website. If you build a website, they will not come unless you honor what your ideal customer is searching for and you integrate it into your website in ways that search engines appreciate, which is what I'm going to help you with today. Search engine optimization, SEO, is simply the use of techniques to improve a site's ranking in search engines. Okay. You need to find the phrases that your ideal customer is Googling. There are two, and I'll teach you how today. And the slides from this talk are on the homepage of my website, santafe-webdesign.com. You can just go there and they're right on the homepage if you need. And you'll also be able to watch this video on YouTube at Cloud Access, which is even more handy. There are two kinds of SEO, white hat and black hat. White hat is the kind of SEO that Google loves, and black hat Google hates. And it's really pretty simple to understand the difference. Black hat is when you're doing tricks to manipulate Google's impression of you or other search engines' impression of you, and that when those tricks do not benefit the user experience, okay? White hat is when you are using techniques to impress Google which also benefit the user experience. A good example of black hat, this is an old-timey example, you know, put the word Viagra in white text on a white background of a website 1,000 times, thinking Google will see it, but my viewer won't see it. well, Google will completely blacklist you and you will not show up in the search engine results if you do that. Or other techniques that are meant to manipulate Google without benefiting the user experience. Google likes to see content on your website that matches what your ideal customer is searching for, but isn't tricks to simply manipulate Google. I had a website 10 years ago. I had a blog that was not part of my website. It was a separate URL. And I was linking a lot to my website. And Google blacklisted my website because it determined that that blog was a link farm that I had created to manipulate search engines' impressions of my website. So 3 months, I figured it out. I couldn't figure out what was wrong back then, but I did take a guess and I removed that blog. I think I put it over in my domain name at the time and I showed back up. So that is one of the more confusing things for people. Many people do have blogs that are separate at a separate domain. They don't live within the site of their existing website. And it's fine to do that if you're linking, even if you're linking to your own website, if you're also linking equally to other places. But in general, I recommend that you put your blog within your own site as a safety net to make sure you don't upset Google. So that's one of the more important ones to remember that many people don't know about. So if you don't optimize your website using the techniques I'm going to teach you today, it doesn't matter if you're famous like Jeff Koons, who makes art that looks like inflatable art. And he's going to show up no matter what because he's famous. But if you're looking for inflatable art and you haven't heard of him, you won't find him because he didn't optimize his website. You'll find other websites that have the word inflatable art in their title tag and in their description tag, but you won't find Jeff. However, if you search for untitled document, you'll get many, many, many millions of results. And because Jeff is famous, he's up at the top. If you build a website in Dreamweaver and you don't give a page a title, Dreamweaver titles it untitled document. And like here when I did this, which was a while ago now, 20 million pages showed up. And Jeff shows up. But it's not helping him because his customers are not looking for untitled documents. I doubt that he cares because I think he's doing quite well. But that's just to show you what can happen if you don't optimize your website and you're not famous. All right, so my theory about websites is that they're a human being, like a human being, not a corporation like a human being, but a website like a human being, and that they have a skeleton, they have flesh, and they have clothing. And I like to start with the skeleton, which to me are the keyword phrases that your ideal customer is searching for. So I build all my websites from scratch with this in mind. Now the most important phrase is going to be in your domain name. And so I consider that to be the spinal column. So one of my customers makes ornament crafts. And so that would be a good domain name for her. And that would be the spinal column. And then the arms and legs would be the navigation items that include the categories of what she sells. And we determine if those phrases are matching what her ideal customer is searching for. And in this case, they are. Susan's Christmas shop in Santa Fe, New Mexico is super cute. You should come and see it if you come to Santa Fe. It's right off the plaza, zillions of tiny little ornament crafts, really beautiful. She used to have a website until a year and a half ago when I helped her out that had categorized her ornaments based on what pueblo the ornament was made in. So it might say Santo Domingo ornaments or Tezuque ornaments, etc. But nobody was searching for that, and I'm going to show you how we learn that type of thing later. But for now, believe me when I tell you, nobody was searching for Pueblo-based ornaments. However, they're searching for ornament crafts, glass ornaments, felt ornaments, wood ornaments, etc., right? So we recategorized all of our ornaments to the medium that they were made in. And you can see in this menu here with the ornament crafts, I have the word glass in all caps and ornaments in lowercase. I could have just done glass, felt, wood, fabric, etc., but I wanted to make sure that the phrase that her ideal customer is searching for was complete, because we don't want anybody looking for glass or felt or wood. We want people looking for glass ornaments, felt ornaments, wood ornaments. So I did uppercase the medium, lowercase the redundant word ornaments, so it wouldn't look too tacky, and I think it works just fine, so I recommend that technique as well. So these are the arms and legs, right? The subcategories within the main category of what your ideal customer is searching for. And you want those to be in a menu so that they're showing up on multiple pages, okay? This worked. She sold out of a couple categories within a month or two and had to close them out for the time being. And so Susan's Christmas shop, that's what you're looking for. Okay, how do you find out what keywords to use, what your ideal customer is searching for? It used to be that you would go to the keyword tool, the Google keyword tool, which is no longer exists, which is why I've crossed it out. And now, to get to the right place, you actually have to have an account with Google, which is free, and you probably already have one because you kind of can't live without one anymore. And you would have to Google the phrase, Google Keyword Planner, to get there. And then when you get there, if you don't have an account, you create an account, and you go to the Keyword Planner. And I do want to show you the steps involved right now, which we'll be doing over and over later today. But and these slides are on the homepage of my website. But this is important that you learn this because you guys can do this yourself. It's completely free. It's totally powerful, all right? So once you're in, you go to search for a new keyword. Okay, you click on that, and then you enter your keyword in that field there. And now you're going to get results that look like this. And in the lower left, you want to get rid of everything that doesn't say Joomla in the results, okay? And then, I see I didn't do the right thing here. You're supposed to click on keyword ideas. See on the upper left where it says add group ideas and keyword ideas, click on keyword ideas. And after you've done that, you'll see results, and then you want to search from high to, you want to organize your results from high to low, okay? By clicking on the average monthly searches. And you also see the competition next to that, which shows how many people are paying to show up for that phrase in Google, okay? So that competition is not your competition for organic search results, which is what I'm teaching you about today, which means you're not paying Google to make you show up high in the sponsored links. Instead, you are trying to get organic search results, which people like to click on more than the paid search results. So, however, the competition column here is kind of important because it shows you how many people feel it's worthwhile to pay Google to show up. And if the number is low, that can have a number of interpretations, but it may also mean that you have a higher chances of showing up. And if a lot of people are searching for it, I would go with low competition, high searches. So you can see Joomla Tutorials has 23,690 searches a month with low competition. And I actually changed my blog to say Joomla Tutorials instead of Joomla Tips when I learned that more people were searching for Joomla Tutorials than Joomla Tips. Okay, so you can modify your site as you go along just by playing with this tool and deciding, ooh, I should name the title of my blog something different now because more people are searching for that, and the title is important. So where the keywords go, I find that the domain name is critical, and many of you, all of you, maybe have domain names already. So in that case, what I do is I keep your old domain name, which is your branding, your marketing domain name, and then if you're open to it, we find a domain name that matches what your ideal customer is searching for. we use that as your primary domain name and change your existing domain name into a permanent 301 redirect to your primary domain name. And we'll be talking about that later today too. So that's the most important one I have found. Your title tags, your keyword meta tag, and your web designer knows what all of these things mean if you don't. Your H1 tags, H2 tags, H3 tags, in the body content, ideally bolded or italicized, but not too much. And don't use the same exact phrase over and over in your content. Make it synonyms, because Google understands synonyms now. Change the words around. Try not to be too tweaky about, tweaking Google to like you. You want to add value to your website for the viewer. In your navigation links, that's important. I find that very helpful. In your blog name, in your blog posts, and backlinks from other sites. Now, a lot of SEO people really emphasize backlinks, and they're great if you can get quality websites to link to you, especially using a phrase like, in my case, the phrase would be Santa Fe web design, 4 words linking to my website. But it's hard to do. It takes time. My customers don't have time to make sure that the people linking to them are quality websites. In other words, where you check the page rank, that Google, whether Google likes them or not, it's kind of complicated and time-consuming to make sure you're doing it right. So my clients generally use the blogging system of linking to themselves from within their own blog, from blog post to blog post, and I'll talk more about that later, blog post to article, etc. So if you want people to link to you, you can ask your happy clients if they have websites, strategic partners. So you work with a graphic designer like I do, they link to you, I link to them. Bloggers might link to you, Twitters might link to you, Facebook people might link to you. And even though there's what they call a no-follow tag assigned to Facebook links, meaning it's saying to Google, don't pay attention to this, somehow it does make a difference. So get people to link to you from Facebook. Link to yourself from a blog post to a page on your site, from a blog post to another blog post, in your navigation, in all these places. Use a keyword phrase as a link. So you wouldn't put your website as a link. We'll be talking to different people today, and so we might say, what's the 411.com is a link that Ruth Morrison might want to use, and instead of that, she might use the phrase, what's space the space 411, or celebrity-driven content website even, a phrase, not a URL, but a phrase. You're linking a phrase to a page that's optimized for that phrase. We'll go into that more. So really that's all I wanted to give you in terms of a presentation, and I want to start helping you all right now, and I'm going to go to, you can find all this information on the homepage of my website. I have 2 domain names. I should have fixed this one. SantaFeWebDesign.net works just fine, or SantaFe-webdesign.com. And you can go there, and these slides are on the homepage. Also, you'll be able to see the video on YouTube. So I'm going to go to the web now, and I've got some sites pulled up. And Bernie, are you with me?
Okay, great.
Great.
Looks like you'd like to start with Ruth. Is that correct?
Well, is Paul's with us?
Paul is in attendance. Paul, if you could let me know in that slide out, in that GoToMeeting slide out area, if we can bring you live into the webinar. Hope would like to speak with you and just get a few questions. And Paul has said, hi, Bernie and Hope. You bet. So I'm going to bring Paul in right now. Great. Hey, Paul, are you there?
Hey, Bernie. Hey, Hope. Yep.
Oh, you're on. Oh, I'm so glad we get to speak in person. This is fantastic.
Yeah, this is a great webinar. I really appreciate you sharing your knowledge, Hope, and Bernie. Appreciate you and Cloud Access making this knowledge available to all of us.
Good. So Paul Orwig is starting a, well, Paul, why don't you just tell everybody a little bit about what you do with Joomla?
Okay. With the website that that I asked you about tied to this webinar, or just in general for Joomla?
Well, go ahead with the website. Paul Orwig is big in the Joomla community. I built only Joomla websites for the last 5 years. I love it. I consider it to be WordPress on steroids, and Paul has been a volunteer, contributing enormous amounts of his time and wisdom to the organization for many years, and we appreciate him. He was the first one to ask me to help him, and I've ordered the people I'm helping based on the earliness of their of their request, and Paul was the first one, January 31st. So here we are, and Paul is starting a website called teamwebhome.com, which is not built yet, but it's going to be a customizable turnkey website for sports teams, primarily targeted to competitive youth teams and high school programs in the USA. Could you tell us a little more about that, Paul?
Sure. There's a number of services that are available for sports teams to host websites, and the majority of them are free services. They're either ad-supported services or cookie-cutter type websites that offer basic information for sports teams, the schedules, the rosters, an email list to send out notifications, things along those lines. The vision that I have for teamwebhome.com is to use Joomla as the framework to create some premium websites for those sports teams who are willing to pay for a website to have a premium, custom, unique web presence for their teams. So I've been working with a high school team that my son was a player for, and sort of using them as the guinea pig for this initiative. And I'm getting pretty close to ready to turn it into a product and try to launch it to the world. So that's kind of either the short version or the long version, depending on your point of view.
No, that's great. So the teams that we're talking about would be largely school teams?
I think they're the primary target market is either high school teams, and part of the reason for that is that it seems that, at least in my area, and I think it's not uncommon, that the actual school administration is less and less involved with sports teams because of budget cuts. So that falls to parents more and more, and booster clubs, we call them here in the U.S. There's also a huge market out there of very competitive youth sports teams, starting at kids at 8 years old, until they enter high school, where they're very competitive, very serious from a budget standpoint, and from a number of games, amount of time and effort that's being put into those teams. So those are sort of the two niches.
Okay, so high school and younger.
Yes.
Okay, good to know. So the first question that came to my mind when you mentioned customized uniqueness of the websites, premium websites, would they be able to have their own domain name?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. And so they wouldn't be under the sports
So as I see it, Hope, there's and you're helping me to better define my business model, which I appreciate it. But as I see it, there's sort of two options. If a client wants to sign up for this service, then if they have their domain name, or if they want to acquire a domain name, they're welcome to do that, and we'll support that. If they don't want to, then they could live in a directory under the teamwebhome.com domains. So I want to give them my thought is to give them a choice for that.
So my feeling would be that the more high-budget youth competitive ones that aren't already embedded in a high school plan might be ones that would want to pay for a domain name that helps their community find that if it's not tied to a school, and it wouldn't necessarily be tied to a school, right?
Yep.
Okay, great. So let's look at what your ideal customer would be searching for to find a service like yours. What it's reminding me of is, dentists go to a big conference and there's, a few tables at the big conference and they're web hosting companies that, do just dental websites, and they have packages and so on that, and just curious, even though I know it's not what I should be teaching you right now, but are there conferences for sports teams?
There are. I think that the type that come to my mind are like annual meetings for coaches and athletic directors in high schools, typically. So I think those would be the groups that would sort of have those associations and meetings. The competitive youth sports teams, in my experience, don't have those kind of gatherings. They have tournaments where they all get together and play against each other, but they don't have kind of conferences and meetings.
Okay, well, I'm interested in that niche, for you, somehow finding those people, right? But
right.
In the meantime, what do you think they would be searching for? Youth sports website, sports team. Let's go here, and what I've done is I'm going to the Google Keyword Planner. I'm making this bigger for you all. And once you're there, you're putting a phrase that you think, sports team website, that your customer might be searching for, and then you're clicking Get Ideas.
Okay.
And then you're going to Keyword Ideas here, and you're seeing that 140 people a month in the world are searching for sports team website. And I'm going to click on average monthly searches here to arrange the other options from high to low. And you can see a lot of things here that are not relevant to you. So I'm going to click Include, Exclude in the lower left and type, I want the word sports and I want the word website. And now I'm going to click back up here. And I think I don't want just website. I'm going to say sports website. Go here. So sports website has 1,000 people a month. Sports website templates, that's kind of speaking to your clients, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 390 is better than 140. And could you think of some other phrases that your ideal customer might be searching for that we could add to this?
Yeah, Hope, that's been my challenge, because I'm struggling with that a little bit, because I'm not sure if my ideal customers are specifically searching for websites, or if they're searching for other things like how to connect with parents, how to build a strong sports program, and maybe a good custom website is a key part of that, but it's not really something that is sort of top of mind for them. And so that's been sort of my key struggle with trying to figure out how to maybe position this from a keyword standpoint.
So I understand, and my instinct here is that the people who are going to build a website for a sports team might look for sports team website, sports website design, sports website templates, and you're not going to be free, so you'd be interested in these three. I wouldn't even play around with sports website, because that's going to be too big and not connected to what you do necessarily. It could just be NFL, right? But these two strike me as very useful for you. I I'm trying to, sports website templates isn't bad at all. It's not sexy. It's not, it doesn't sound as good as teamwebhome.com. And the reason I say that is because I would recommend to you to get a domain name with the word sports website templates in the domain name, and then change Team Web Home if you're attached to it to a permanent 301 redirect that goes to sports website templates. So what I would do now is I would go to GoDaddy and I would just see what's available. Search for that. Search for that. And it's available. So, you know, it's not like you have a zillion people searching for this.
Yep.
And you might even decide to go with Team, because Team is really more accurate, right? It's sports team website. Let's look at that, and I'm pretty sure it'll be available. Sports team website, because it's less important that. Oh, sorry, that means that we've gone 10 minutes. But we don't have as many people signed up as I thought, so I can go a little longer. So, sports team website's already taken. Let's check out who has it, if it's. I'm just opening a new browser window, and it looks to me like nobody's really using that website. Right. It's forwarded to another website. So you could get sportsteamwebsite.net and use that. That would be my recommendation to you. And then all those other ideas that you were beginning to mention before, in terms of what people are interested in once they're on the website, you know, could be, you know, subcategories. Of course, you're offering, you know, so you would be maybe offering categories that speak to what your templates can share with people. You know, in other words, you were saying some of the things parents, how to encourage parents' involvement in sports, or whatever your thought was. Those can all be blog posts, or they can be actual pages. They can be navigation items if they're pared down a little bit. And you could research each of those in the Google Keyword Planner like this. If you want to research the main ones that you've done, you know, the main categories. And you sort of have two things going at the same time. One is the template that you're selling, and two is the content that the template will end up with. And it's kind of a dual situation you're in, and would take a fair amount of time just to get it right. But I think I'm gonna ask Bernie. Bernie, are you here? Are you here?
Of course. Yep.
So could you tell me, I mean, I knew you were here. I didn't mean it that way. Could you tell me how many other people on the list that have signed up for help are logged in?
Well, I know Michael is here, and I know Ruth is available. I'm just taking a quick glance. I know you want to make sure you get to everybody.
Well, is Susan Abbott there? She was the next one in line.
I don't see Sue. Well, let me get down here. There are a lot of people signed in.
Susan, if you're hearing this now, could you open the control panel and put a message in there for Bernie?
I don't see Susan Abbott. There are 3 other Sues that are perhaps Susan.
Well, she can let you know she's there, and Ruth would be the next one. So Paul, I'm going to let you go for now and move on, but I think this is a good start for you.
Hey, Hope, I disagree. This is a great start for me, and thank you so much for helping me get started with this.
Sounds exciting. It sounds like a great idea, and I wish you luck with it, and I want you to let me know how it goes, okay?
I promise. Thanks again, Hope.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks, Paul. I'm going to put Paul back on mute here and go find Ruth. Hey, Ruth, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. Thanks for attending. I know you're attending from New York City. Is that right?
Yes, I am.
And Paul, I believe, was attending from just outside Denver, Colorado somewhere. But Ruth, I'll butt out and let you speak with Hope.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi, Ruth.
Hi, Hope. Thank you.
So, Ruth, nice to meet you.
Yes, same here.
Where are you in New York City?
Brooklyn, USA.
Oh, my sister's there. I love going there. Awesome. So, okay, what's the 411? So just help me. I know it's a celebrity-driven content website, but talk to me a little more about that.
Well, essentially, you're right. We are a celebrity-driven sports, entertainment, and lifestyle brand. We focus primarily on, interviewing, celebrities, if you will, in those arenas, and mostly video, and it's news and information, basically.
So, who interviews the celebrities?
I have a team of reporters that interviews the celebrities. So it's our original content. We're not curating. This is our original content.
Ah, that's good.
Yeah.
And how do you make money off this site, if you don't mind my asking?
Well, essentially, leverage what we're trying to do is to leverage the audience to advertisers that want to target our specific audience.
So is it AdWords?
Not really. We're talking with various brands that are, seeking to reach our audience.
So your ideal customer is kind of dual, like Paul's was. One, the people that want to read your interviews, watch your videos, and two, the people that want to advertise.
Yes, to that audience.
To that audience. Right. Who do you think right now you and I should be targeting with our research? The people that want to watch or the people that want to buy the ads?
Actually, the people who want to watch, because if we're looking to increase our rankings, and therefore by doing that, it makes it easier for us in conversations with, advertisers.
Exactly. So what do you think your ideal viewer is searching for? Have you looked at Google? You have Google Analytics?
Yes, I do have Google Analytics. I haven't looked lately, but I do have Google Analytics.
Well, what you might want to do is take a peek at it next time you get a chance and see what most of your keywords are that are bringing most of your people in. But in the meantime, just best guess, what do you think? Celebrity interviews, or would they be actually speaking to individual celebrities?
Yeah, most of what people are searching for are the people by name.
Okay,
right.
So
which I think makes it a lot more difficult.
It does. It does. It makes it a lot more difficult. But as long as the titles, like you currently have, it's not a blog. I mean, it's almost like your whole website is a big blog in a way. I mean, or am I getting that wrong in terms of there's categories? Let me just look here. Baseball. Let me search here. Baseball. Right. So you search on baseball, and then right away you get the names, which is good. You want those in the titles just like you're doing that right now. But look, I know you can't see probably well what I'm looking at, but down here in the lower right, it says baseball.
Yes,
so
I see it.
The title of your category is baseball, and you click on it, and the first thing you see is this. However, what you want is for baseball celebrities to show up down here, which means it would be your title tag. So I think the first thing I'm going to recommend that you do is make sure there's a title tag for each of these categories that includes the word celebrity interviews, maybe even celebrity, if these are interviews. Now, if they're just stories, we could just say celebrities. So baseball celebrities, and that should show up. I might even make this title, this tag a little smaller and have a bigger one up here somewhere, like maybe, oops, sorry, let me do that, up here that says baseball celebrities, and then these below here get a little smaller, so that you have a title tag for this category that says baseball celebrities, basketball celebrities, boxing celebrities, etc. That would help you with people that are just searching for those categories. And then you want to make sure that the names are just, I think this is Broner. Is Broner a person? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you might want to include the first name, or look and see whether people are searching for the first name as well as just the name. Now, when I click on Broner Skills, a no-show, good. So the title tag here, down at the bottom, you can see it, has that whole title. That's good. That's what you want. So give me the name of somebody that was recently written about, okay, right now.
Well, let's go with Maya Angelou.
Okay, so that's going to be tough. I was just thinking that we might be able to search for, or maybe even interview. Is it interview or is it an article?
It's an interview.
Is it a video interview?
Yes. Okay,
so we want you to show up here.
Exactly.
Right? And have you tested these, and are you finding out whether you're showing up or not?
I have, and you know, sometimes we do and sometimes we don't, and I can't figure it out.
Yeah, so let's go to, do you have a search function on this website?
Yes.
Let me see. Point me to it.
You would need to go like on the left, you know, where those social buttons are on the left by the nav bar. At the bottom, there's a arrow. No, below it. Below it. Yeah, and then you see the little search. Yeah.
So you know what I would recommend is that you put a search field somewhere up, you know.
Yeah.
Somewhere easier. Okay?
Exactly.
But in the meantime, let me put Maya Angelou, and I'm going to look at how you're optimizing. You know, the domain name is something else, but you're probably well branded already in, how do you do your marketing so far? Are you in print? Are you in advertising?
We're primarily at this point using social media.
Okay, so theoretically we could change the domain name, right?
No.
I mean, we could keep the old domain name, but have a new one that points to the old one.
Yeah, we could do that. You could do that.
So let's do some overall. I'm going to help you in a bigger way than I'm helping you right now. So celebrity. Tell me if I ever spell something wrong. Interviews. I think that's probably your best. Is it mostly interviews or also articles?
Mostly, we do mostly interviews.
So 880 people a month in all locations are searching for celebrity interviews. So we're going to go to GoDaddy and just see.
Oh, I'm sure that's taken.
It is, but let's just see what happens. Come on. Not letting me do it. I'm going to refresh GoDaddy. Oh, there it is. Okay. Well, celebrityinterviews.us is available.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with that. Google does not care. So here's how, I mean, you could increase your, if you start optimizing your site for the phrase celebrity interviews, okay? You add that phrase prominently, and you then change the, and I'm going to say make the primary domain become celebrityinterviews.us, and then the what's the 411.com has to become a permanent 301 redirect to celebrity interviews. I'm just saying that means if somebody puts what's the 411.com into their address bar, it's going to come to this website, but the actual domain name up here is going to change.
To say celebrityinterviews.us.
US, yeah. So
Right.
that's the most powerful thing I can help you with today is suggesting that you do that if it's palatable to you. And then
yeah, it is. It is.
Yes. So then you would add the phrase celebrity interviews. Right now you have your logo. Now you can see how I'm dragging this logo around. That means, of course, it's an image, and it means Google can't read it. If I highlight phrase like this, you can see that I can sort of highlight letter by letter. That means Google can read it. If you could put over here, sorry, end of our 10 minutes. If you could put over here celebrity interviews, and then that would help, and that should be an H1 tag, header 1
Okay.
tag. So that would be the main thing I would do, and then the secondary thing I would do is make sure that for each of your categories, if they're matching, I think you're best off, baseball celebrity, yeah, when you click on here, baseball for instance, let's take a quick look at something here. Baseball interviews, that might even be better than celebrities. I just want to give you a template to work with here.
Mm-hmm.
Am I spelling that right? Anyway,
Yeah.
so there's no difference, interviews or celebrities. You could do this for each category, basketball, so on. Or I might even just do.
Maybe it would be, instead of celebrities, athletes for the sports figures, because
sports figures.
Right.
Yeah. So come to this.
I'll go there and play around with the
yeah,
keyboard.
yeah. And
yeah.
you get the idea that here, when you click on these things, I mean, it wouldn't be bad if you could do what I did for Susan's Christmas shop, like I was saying here.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go there.
So essentially, in Joomla, at the category level, for like baseball is the category level, I could list in the category, I guess, those various tags,
Yeah, and like right here, like what I'm showing you, see how I don't say just baseball, I say glass ornaments. So you could say baseball celebrities, basketball celebrities, and celebrities could be lowercase and baseball could be uppercase. See what I'm saying? Just sort of like I did there. And that is more likely to help you match up. You're going to need a slightly larger column here, maybe, when it comes to adding the word celebrities, but it will help you.
Okay. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
This has been extremely, extremely helpful.
I'm so glad. That's great. Yeah, there's some simple things, and a lot of people get approached by SEO companies that charge us a ton of money, and really it shouldn't be that hard.
So you know what, just real quickly, so based on what you're saying, using the example that's on the page, this title of the article, Thomas, Glavin, and Maddox, that's really an H2 tag if celebrity or baseball is going to be the H1.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to go. You can see what your hits determine later, but I do think if you have baseball celebrities up here somewhere as an H1, that emphasizes what you're talking about. And I'm also tempted to say Thomas should have a first name, or these people should have first names, maybe. It depends, I mean, because Thomas is so vague.
Yeah.
I don't know, you'll have to play with that because you don't want your titles to get too long. I don't think you'd be heard at all if this title was smaller because the text is so big here.
Yeah, that's the function of the template. That's what it does. Since I have it, so.
But I mean, you can change that. You should be able to change that without a problem.
Yeah.
Like right now, if I do font size, it's not going to let me. Oh well, I could play with it, but I don't have time. In any case, yeah, you should be able to modify that. You should be able
Okay.
to.
All right. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. And thank you, Bernie, for this webinar. It's the best.
Oh, you bet, Ruth. Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks
you.
for attending.
Yeah.
I'm going to put Ruth back on mute. Hope, just let me know who's next. There's a number of attendees who are saying, oh, I want help, and unfortunately we're not going to be able to help everybody today, but we'll show you how to contact Hope a little bit later.
And I'm not going to be able to give customized support to everyone via Facebook later either, but I have videos on YouTube, and Bernie's going to show you all of my links, and you're welcome to ask me a question. Just I'm really super duper busy, and I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to help you on an individual basis afterwards. So Libby, would you say, is the next?
Okay, we can find Libby. I believe she's here. Hopefully we have a mic. Yep, Libby is here.
Great.
Hi, Libby. Are you there?
I'm here.
Wonderful. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well. How are you?
I'm great. Where are you attending from?
We are here in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Very good. Very good. I will let you speak with Hope and butt out.
Hi, Libby.
Hi, Hope.
Thanks for coming.
Well, thanks for doing this. We appreciate it.
My pleasure, and I see you've got your demo site on CloudAccess, my favorite host in the world. I have probably 40 people hosted with CloudAccess now, and I think you're doing it just perfect because you get 30 days for free, and then you get to go live, and I think you've done the perfect method.
Great. Thank you. It's been a good experience so far.
Good. So trade show displays, promotional products, digital signage, 100-mile radius of Chattanooga, Tennessee. And are you thinking that your customers are pretty much going to be within that area? I'm sure that's what you're saying, right?
That's correct. We've been a brick and mortar business for 21 years now, and most of our customers fall within that region.
So, and you've been a brick and mortar business without a website, and now you're getting a website.
We have a website that was developed in 2001, and it is extremely flat. It's up, and people find us somehow, but we are getting ready to launch this new site, which is what you've got up on the screen now, this Joomla site.
Is the URL the URL of the old one dynamicdisplays.com? Or?
It's actually .org.
Dynamicdisplays.org.
Yes.
Okay. So, would you be open to my nudging you into a new primary domain?
Probably not, just because we've had that one for so long and it is part of our brand.
So even if you could keep it in your branding, but when you go to your address bar and you type it in, you go to the website, but up in the address bar it looks like something different?
I'm not sure. I think I would need some convincing.
So my convincing would be that this has been my most powerful step that I've taken for people to get them on page 1 of Google. And then to keep them there, they have to do some blogging and they have to keep their website fresh. And I really haven't talked about that enough at all today, which is to say, once you get on page 1, you can't just leave your website alone. Are you planning to do things to keep your website fresh?
We are, and we felt like moving to Joomla would allow us to update it more easily, and so that is our intent.
And what would you be updating, do you know?
When we do different projects with people, highlighting those, showing featured products or different products each month, talking about the successful programs that we've run. Those types of things. Hot
off the press, like, okay, good. So you would have a section, that's great, that's awesome. And this is nice, this is a nice design. So I would be, if you were sitting across the desk from me right now, I'd be researching a better, well, let's find out. Dynamic displays, let's find out if people are searching for dynamic displays. 260 people a month are searching for it, but we want people in Chattanooga, right?
Yeah, or Eastern Tennessee or the tri-state area. We're right next to Georgia and Alabama.
I see. So if you had to define the region in a way that you think people might be searching for that would help you the most, what would you say to me right now? Do you think if somebody's in Georgia, they might say Chattanooga, or what would they?
That's tough. The closest city to us in Georgia is Dalton, Georgia, and there's a lot of potential customers there. I think for the most part, people probably would say Chattanooga, Tennessee, or maybe just Tennessee.
Oh, Tennessee, because Chattanooga. So let's look at. So they're not. To answer your question about why would we bother with a new domain name, 260 people a month are searching for dynamic displays. My guess is that a fair amount of them. Let's look. So they won't find you because, wait, or will they? Here. Yeah, they find you. They find you. Mm-hmm. This is your competition?
That is a completely different type of company, but the next one down is ours.
That's you. So you need a descriptive meta tag. See how these sentences show up after the links?
Right, and so that's our old site you're looking at now. That one's the one that's live.
Okay, right. So I won't in any way troubleshoot the old one for you. But you are showing up for the search dynamic displays. 260 people a month are searching for that. The problem is we don't know. Do you have Google Analytics?
I will, and I had a question about that. That's probably not for this webinar, whether to put that on once you go live or go ahead and load that into the staging site.
That's a great question. I think going live is the better because the domain is different.
Yes, that's what I was thinking, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I would do that. I would wait. Just send Google. You don't want to confuse Google.
Right. Okay.
So, okay. I would like to research whether there are people searching for things in Chattanooga or in your region that might be your ideal customer, okay?
Okay.
And we don't even have to use it as the domain name, but reading your description, trade show displays, promotion, of these three things, trade show displays, promotional products, and digital signage, would you say promotion, which is the thing you do the most of?
Trade show displays.
And let's try something. So 2,000 almost people a month are searching for that. And I'm wondering if I start to add Chattanooga. See, Google is doing local searches now, and it's almost like you don't have to put your location in your domain name anymore because Google sees your IP address and it goes to your local area. So I'm almost wondering if we should do a Hail Mary and how many people find you, do you know, just by searching cold who have never heard of you?
I really have no idea.
Yeah.
So much of what our business is word of mouth, and that was the reason. And when we get people that come in and they say, I didn't know you were here, that's the primary reason we want to get a new website.
So, yeah. Trade show displays-displays.biz is available. Now, there's also this new thing that CloudAccess makes available when you sign up for them, and you're on there. So I'm going to pretend I'm coming there for the first time to show you. I think it's .us.com. Trade show displays. There's this new one that I did some research about, and it's supposed to be good for search engines. So you're in the US, but it's a .com. So you could get trade show displays. In fact, everybody listening out there, if you think the domain name is taken, that you would would be your ideal domain name. You should look to see if .us.com is available. And let's see. It's available. So, you know, you might consider having your primary domain name be tradeshowdisplays.com and increase your people finding you, right? And then when people they go to Google, they search for trade show displays, they find tradeshowdisplays.us.com, they click on it, and they are at your website.
And what do they see in the address bar?
At the very top of the address bar, they will see tradeshowdisplays.us.com. So that's what they would see, but who looks at that? Once they click on it, people who have never heard of you, what do you care as long as you still have the old domain, dynamicdisplays.org. Why do you have a .org? Because that was what was available?
Well, yeah, it's a long story, and it's been here for a long time. So
okay, well, it is a little. I'm not used to commercial enterprising having a .org extension.
I hear you.
So, you know, if I were you, I would start shifting my branding, and you can get dynamicdisplays.us.com too if you want, no doubt. But anyway, I would start shifting my branding away from the .org somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so just because it does give a little bit of, you know, I don't usually care about extensions at all. I don't care if it's .us, .biz, and in some cases .me is just fine. But .org definitely gives the impression of a nonprofit.
Right.
So it might tweak my impression of you as a company a little bit, to think that you're presenting yourself as a nonprofit when you're a commercial. I don't know how many people would feel that way, but that's just my sort of gut response right now, and take it or leave it, okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, so looking at your website, well, now let me take a peek. I'm just stopping the timer that I have running here. I'm not going to go too much longer, but displays. So think digital signage is good because that's something people are searching for. Now, are these things? Yeah, good. See how I'm highlighting your navigation, and it highlights letter by letter. That means Google can read all of that. That's awesome. And so, hot off the press, I'm thinking this could be. You want something with a title. So hot off the press isn't up here. You want something with a title that speaks to latest trade show news or something, or latest trade show projects, something that people might actually be searching for. Display management services, that sounds good. And I'm clicking on it, it's not going anywhere unless I read more. So you want to make sure this title is a link, okay? Make sure this title, I'm getting the finger, which means to link, but it's not going anywhere.
Okay.
Oh, maybe you just don't have anything yet. Oh, no, you do. So, yeah, okay. Anyway, I would say anything that's going to be a navigation item, when you can make it something that people are actually searching for, that's good, and make it clickable. So this display management services should also go to where the read more goes to. So you should be able to click on that title, okay?
Okay.
And then hot off the press, so is this the latest thing hot off the press, or is it a list of things hot off? It's the latest thing. So
There's only one thing loaded in there right now.
But eventually there will be more. So they could push each other down. As you get a new thing, you'll push the old one down and have a new thing. And when you're writing your title tags here, you just want to be thinking about what people are actually searching for. Mm-hmm. So as you write. But so my main advice to you is the domain advice, and then making sure that all your titles are linkable about us. So you want all your titles to be linkable, clickable, and you want to be thinking about what people are searching for. This hot off the press might become trade show, our latest trade show successes or something. You know what I'm saying? That people might be searching for trade show successes or something like that. You can look in the Google Keyword Planner to see what people are actually searching for. Am I making sense to you?
You are. I do have one Joomla specific question about meta descriptions and meta keywords.
Yes.
And I've heard that the description is very important for each page, but the keywords not so much, and just wondered what your thoughts were on that.
Yeah, in fact, now Google doesn't actually read either one.
Oh, really? Okay.
It hasn't read the keywords in a long time, but it no longer reads the description, but that doesn't matter. If I'm searching for trade show displays and I look at the results, so I'm going to read these descriptive meta tags. They're going to help me decide what to click on.
Right. Okay.
So they're very important. Extremely.
And then what about the keywords?
You can
don't matter now.
I mean, Bing and Yahoo supposedly still read those, so you could put a phrase in each keyword meta tag: trade show display, trade show supplies, trade show banners. Just one phrase or two, three at the most per page.
Okay.
All right?
Great. Thank you.
Time is flying. Bernie, help me. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Libby. Chattanooga, Tennessee. Pretty cool. Never been there, actually.
You should come. It's beautiful.
Gosh, I got behind. I'm sorry. We have two more people to help if they're both here. I know Michael's here.
Yeah, what was the other name?
John Lovett.
Okay, yes, they are both here. So I'm
gonna do quickies for both of them, and I can only say my apologies for not being able to give them more time.
Okay, we have so many attendees. I'm going to put Libby back on mute there, and who is next?
Michael.
Michael. Okay, let me find Michael. Michael is here. One moment. Hey, Michael, are you there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. Where are you attending from?
Atlanta.
Oh, very good. Very good. Well, Michael, Hope, Michael.
Hi. I hope you've been learning from what I've been saying, because you'll be taking advantage of it for your site. But I'm looking at lifewisdom.com, a free wisdom course for middle and high school students. The geographic area is the planet. The University of Chicago is funding the production of my lectures, available for free on Vimeo and linked through lifewisdom.com.
Yes.
So your ideal customer would be who? I know you're saying the planet, but I mean within the planet.
Well, I've been trying to contact principals of schools. That has not been overwhelmingly successful. So what I'm starting to find is that homeschoolers are very interested in this, and also if I can reach teachers directly and not go through principals, because typically what happens is the principal will say, oh, this looks very interesting, and then I don't hear back. So I'm trying to think of where homeschoolers, the parents make individual decisions for their kids and don't have to be filtered through principals. One thing I'd like to point out is that this is more like a mission-driven website, meaning that it's my personal mission, and the goal is not to make money but to make kids wise.
Nice, very nice. Okay, so right, just so you know, 480 people a month are searching for life wisdom, but you really want children to become wise, would you say, right, through this?
Yes, and when I say, let me just tell you one other thing that perhaps will inform what you might say in just the few minutes that you have left. I know. I had an organization in India contact me, and there are children who live in mud huts in India, and this organization comes into a village and says, who are your smartest kids? And they take those kids and pay for them to go to a private school. And this organization wants to translate my lectures into Tamil and then teach these kids in India my wisdom course. So when I say the planet, I really do mean the planet.
Okay, I understand. That's awesome. So would child guidance be a good phrase to speak to what you're doing? Because not very, if we look for wisdom for children, let's see what happens. So child guidance has a fair amount of searches for it. Does that?
I never would have thought of child guidance. I'm not sure what that means really, but
Yeah.
the wisdom is an important term.
Okay, so what I do is try to feel, right now 480 people are searching for life wisdom, but they're not. It's not about children. How about child wisdom? 20. Children wisdom. So there aren't very many people searching for a phrase that connects children to the word wisdom.
When I've done, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
When I've done Google searches and I've searched for wisdom course, I don't pop up this. An organization called Landmark pops up. I suspect they're using some more black hat techniques. But anyway, when I type in wisdom course middle school, then websites that link to me pop up on the first page.
So just so you know, nobody else but you is searching for Wisdom Course Middle School. It's one thing to do a search in Google, and it's another thing to go to this tool and find out how many people are searching. So if we search...
Well, I learned this today from you.
Good, awesome. Well, that's why I'm here, and I know it's a confusing situation. People go to Google and they make a search and they get 20 million results. They think a lot of people are searching for that. So that's why this tool, which is free, which all of you can use, is so awesome. And I'm having trouble finding something that matches with the word wisdom to any quantity of people searching. But I think Wisdom Course is better than Wisdom Life Wisdom, even though children aren't included in, and I kind of hate to have that not be the case, which is why I was sort of veering towards child guidance. In any case, looking at your domain name now, lifewisdom.com, you're here so that I can help you get more people to find your website, right?
Yes. I have a general question for you, and it relates to the woman that you were helping before, the 411 woman.
Yeah.
And I made a special note, you found 880 people were looking for celebrity interviews.
Yeah.
And I thought, that can't be right. I would think it would be like hundreds of thousands of people. Can you really trust the Google numbers?
I don't have anything else to trust. I mean,
Okay.
It's the best that I've got is working for my clients and me. So that's all I know is I'm going for it. Like I have one client, custom furniture, and he's I don't know, he's on the home page and 6,600, anyway, he's getting work. He's getting work. 6,600 people a month are searching for it. He gets work. He does extremely expensive work. Okay, so I want you to get people to find you, and I'm having trouble getting that umbrella phrase, that skeletal spinal cord that would attract them other than child guidance. Child wisdom, I think I tried child wisdom before and nothing. 20. So,
How about just wisdom?
Well, wisdom is too wide unless, well, that's an idea now that we have this new domain name. 110,000 people. Let's check it out. Let's go to Cloud Access and go to products, hosting. I'm only using them because they have this, oh, I love them, don't get me wrong, but let's go wisdom, but they have this thing here telling me wisdom. But you're not just US. You're all over, but I don't know what all over. Well, we know we can't do .com or .net or .us or any of those, right? So we know we can probably do .us.com, and I'm told it's good for search engines. I have one client that's buying it now. Oh, it's not available. Okay. So wisdom is just too wide, too broad.
Okay.
And
that's why I got Life Wisdom and not Wisdom.com originally.
Right, I understand. I love the sound of Wisdom Child. That it has a wonderful sound to it, but just unfortunately nobody's searching for it. So, so we're back at where we started, and I would love to give a little help to the next person. So what I'm going to recommend to you is that you get deep into this tool, and you decide, find a phrase that comes as close as you can find to matching your mission, because you want to think, is your mission about your vision, or is your, in terms of, can you let go of some of your imagery around what the domain name has to be if it actually fulfills your mission better to have a different domain name?
Well, if I'm already linked to by different other websites, is that still going to work?
It sure will, because what you do is you get your new Google-friendly domain name, and you make it your primary domain name, and then you point the old domain name to it as a permanent 301 redirect. So you would be pointing, Life, come on, Beggar. Keep missing it. Anyway, you would be pointing lifewisdom.com to childguidance.something. Or
well, I understand the technical excellence of your suggestion, but it may be difficult for me to let go.
Well, this is your passion and your mission, and you're not trying to make money, so you do it whatever way makes you happiest, as long as it feels like it's going to work. That's my advice.
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure. I appreciate you coming. Sorry for being short.
All right.
I love it.
Yep, Michael, thank you very much. Let me find Michael here again. And lastly, we have John.
Love it.
Yep, John Lovett. Just one second. Hi, John. Are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Where are you attending from?
Just outside of Atlanta as well.
Oh, wow. Very cool. We know a guy named Michael there.
Yeah, I do too now.
All right. We have a few minutes left, so Hope.
Great.
Go ahead.
I'm here, and I'm already working for you. I've done this for a Santa Fe plumber, and it worked for him. So.
Great.
Yeah. I'm not in Santa Fe anymore. So, we've got 720 people a month searching for Atlanta plumber, or Atlanta plumbing. Let's
Right.
see. Let's just do this. Come back, GoDaddy. Atlanta plumbing. And it's going to be taken most likely, but that's okay. We can. AtlantaPlumbing.us is available.
Okay.
And I think, is plumbing a better word than plumber for you?
Well, it's really for my client, but yeah, he seems to be pretty attached to plumbing.
Good, because it's just as good as many people are searching. So I would change his domain name
Okay.
to Atlanta Plumbing. Sorry, I got all these. AtlantaPlumbing.us.
Okay.
And then I would, this is really important, extremely, very, totally, utterly important. Buckhead Plumbing has to become a permanent 301 redirect to AtlantaPlumbing.us. Okay?
Okay. I've heard you saying that.
Yeah, don't do it any other way, okay, because you could get penalized. AtlantaPlumbing.com. I just want to see what your competition is looking like right now. So this is your competition. Do you know them, or does he know them?
No, I've not heard of them. He may know, but I've not.
I think, and if I search for Atlanta Plumbing, and we get past, these are all the paid results, right? These are all the paid results.
They're big ones.
They're big ones, right. So, but often people don't click on them because they want to know how people got up here. So here's AtlantaPlumbing.net. So they have a presence. Okay. AtlantaPlumbing.com is not showing up at all.
Cool.
Which is awesome. And this one, Plumbing of Atlanta, let's just see something here. They actually have a low ranking. I haven't gone into this with you guys, but I think if you get this domain name, AtlantaPlumbing.com, and if your client
I thought it was .us.
I mean .us. I apologize.
Okay.
And if you have get your client to have a blog where he writes about his experiences, and how to keep your, how to fix the leak, just all these cool things that we would all love to look up so we can maybe do it ourselves and then trust him to come when we need something serious, right?
Right.
If you could get him to blog every week and answer typical questions or how he solved problems and you have testimonials and keep it fresh, then he may get on page 1 of Google for Atlanta Plumbing and then stay there if he does the blogging, okay?
Awesome.
That was really quick, and I apologize, but I think we have to say a few words before we close out the webinar.
Oh, this has been great. Very helpful.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Well, here we are.
Yeah, very good.
Website. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Here are the slides on the homepage of my website. These are actually from almost identical talk last fall, so there's a couple extra slides in there, but you can get them there, and you'll be able to watch this whole thing on YouTube. And I have a YouTube channel too, so and if you go to any of my videos, which are this is my last webinar at Cloud Access, and but my YouTube channel is Keyword Hope, Keyword Hope. And thank you, Bernie.
Yeah, thanks again, Hope. This was a really great webinar. I think we helped a lot of people, and a lot of people had additional questions, and we're very sorry that we're unable to get to those questions today, but hopefully you can attend another webinar in the future. And again, thanks for attending. I am going to steal the screen back very quickly. So everyone should be able to see my screen at this point, and this is our YouTube channel, youtube.com/cloudaccess, where you can access this webinar a little bit later today. Okay. All right. So this is our YouTube channel. We have over 8,000 subscribers now. If you do subscribe to our channel, you'll get a notification every time a new training webinar becomes available, a recording. And of course, you can also always come to our site at CloudAccess.net and come to training and come to our webinars tab here to find out what new courses and webinars we'll be offering. And Hope, again, it was a pleasure.
Bernie, it was a blast. I really love doing this with you. And I appreciate everybody coming, and I'm sorry I couldn't help all of you.
Yep, and thanks for all the volunteers, and good luck developing, and good luck with the search engine optimization. We hope to see you in a webinar soon. Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.